I'll demonstrate a really lovely, super simple exercise that can reveal so much about how you relate with other people. And if you ever find a partner to do this with, I encourage you to practice this at home. Maybe you can ask your current partner, maybe you can ask a good friend to do this with. I have Anna here, who was so kind to assist me and demonstrate what this exercise is all about. We're going to start by facing each other. And first of all we're going to do is touching palms. Palm to palm. And then we're going to disconnect again. Already in this simple interaction, there's a lot of information. And I'll talk to that a little bit. This, in and of itself, actually reflects an entire cycle of relationship, an entire cycle of relating. There is the beginning, the middle, and the end. And then the actual end, the in-between, which is like the seasons of the year. And the interesting questions here would be, in the spring, in the initiating, who is initiating? Are you, I'll demonstrate, are you the one to be like, here I am, and your partner is following? And the more people you do this with, the more apparent your patterns will get. So we're focusing on at the start of this. Or are you waiting for your partner to initiate? And you follow. Who's leading, who's following here? Or are you waiting simply to do it at the same time because you really, really want to match each other? These are just a few options. And then the question would be, how do you do that in your life? Are you the person to initiate a conversation always? Or are you the person to wait and be like, I hope they're going to start, I hope they're going to initiate soon? Just a little pointer to that. Then there's the middle bit. So we're here, we're touching. That is could be the middle of a relationship, it could be the conversation. How is the quality of touch? This is probably the most juicy bit as well. It's like, there could be a tendency to wanting to dominate. Or to wanting to like, no, you're in charge. Or maybe you're really wanting to be equal. And there's like I just don't want to, overpower, and it could be a matter of height, but often it indicates something. Some people might really immediately push down. And some people might even approach you like this. If you stay centered, they still might be like, I actually, don't want to dominate. Then again, what's the pressure? Are you like really firmly present and strong in relationship? You can really feel? Or are you very gently present? Are you maybe even reducing the surface of touch? Or are you fully making sure that every part of your hand is touching? And how does that reflect on how you relate? How you're having conversations? Another component. How distant or how far away from each other are you? If Anna stays where she is, which is an in-between space, but I'm here. I like being really close. Maybe if it's a close friend or my intimate partner, this is like, my comfort spot. It always depends on who I'm relating with as well. But it could also be a default. I just like being close. Could be a matter of boundaries too, though. The opposite would be being super far away. And in this then, you could also invite your partner to adjust the distance that they feel comfortable at. So if I come to a neutral, and you get to play with it. If you step away and take a lot of distance with your arms, how does that feel? Does it feel familiar? No. Come close. That feels good. That's the comfort. If you step even closer, how does that feel? Uncomfortable?
Not so much, but...
Yeah. So you can determine how much space do you want in a relationship. And that could mean a lot of things. That could be like, I actually need more space for myself. I don't always want to be next to my partner. I like, the in-between. I like just being at a comfortable distance. And again, this will be different with every person you do this with. It's totally dependent on the context, but the more people you try this with, it reveals your patterns. So then let's look at the ending. It's the parting. It's the ending of a conversation, for instance. How are you doing endings? So if we're in the situation here I was the one initiating. Am I the one initiating the goodbye? Am I like, okay? Or is she the one initiating the goodbye? And I'm waiting, and I actually want to stay here. And if we're exaggerating that a little more, it could be like, how do I do my relationships? And I'm always like, bye, it was nice. Or is it me going, I don't want to let you go. No, don't leave me. Stay here forever. I want to stay here. This would be an exaggeration. But still, it might reveal something. Or is it, I just want to wait for the right moment so that we can part at the same time. So it's mutual. And I'm making sure that we're mutually leaving that connection. It's like, you're okay, I'm okay. Not going into the extreme of like, are you fine? It was really nice with you. And like, I don't mean it, like if I leave now, I'm like, it was really nice with you. That would be the clingy one. As opposed to the bye, without spending much time. But how do you do endings? How did you do your breakups even? Or even just leaving a conversation. Simple to like more complex. And then we could add multiple other layers into this. Bringing this into a walking, for instance, if we touch hands, it could be about uncovering different dynamics in leader-follower. Again, it's to do with initiating. If I am initiating and I'm leading her and she's following me, even just with a few steps, we can tune into how that is. Now, if you're leading, Anna, how is it being led? How is it being follower?
Easy.
Easier to lead?
To be follower.
To be follower. There you go. You can understand. Even now, it's like, who's really leading? It was her job to lead, but she stopped leading. What is your default? What do you do? What's your preference? Where are you at home? What's familiar to you? Thank you. And we can explore this in so much more depth and enrich this experience even more when we have multiple partners to test this with. Because if something shows up in all my encounters, it's most likely me. If it's just one encounter, it might be the particular dynamic right now. The degree to which you know each other, which you're comfortable with, maybe it's influenced by who they are or how I perceive them. Oh, they're nice, she's also a woman, like there's a rapport, something there. All these elements will influence these encounters. So it's really, really interesting dropping into many different ways and getting a flavor of that to understand your patterns. And this is just showing how such a simple, embodied way of going about it without talking for hours can reveal so much about how you relate, how you do relationships. So when you have the time and you find a partner or even a group of friends, try that. Good